Friday the 13th, 2014 was an unlucky day for Donald Turpin.
The effort that he and his associates went through night after night to steal copper belonging to the public not only was wrong, but it endangered the public.
He was sentenced to over 12 years in prison for what may have been the largest metal theft ever in Washington.
This case was the biggest that Washington State has ever seen. It encompassed 4.3 miles of copper line that was taken from the elevated portion of the light rail, the Link light rail system that's operated by Sound Transit.
Turpin and his team stole 55,000 pounds of the highest quality copper wire, worth over $200,000. Add in the cost of reinstalling the wire, and the total soars to over $1.3 million. And worse, the theft put citizens at risk.
Well, this is such a significant case because it's a case that really impacts the citizens of King County. It was literally stripping copper from one of the crucial pieces of our transportation infrastructure with complete lack of thought for the citizens who ride those trains and the employees who work on those trains.
Basically, the copper wire is part of a grounding system to carry away stray voltage. Without that copper wire, a lightning strike or a problem in the light rail's electrical system could have had tragic results.
It would have led to maybe loss of life for people getting on and off the train, or for the Sound Transit, Metro Transit employees who it's their duty and jobs to maintain the lines.
Copper theft is a problem all over the country. It's easy to do and difficult to detect.
It's really easy to sell copper. Anybody can walk off the street and sell copper to a scrap recycler.
And a lot of times with these wire thefts, sometimes they're not reported right away, or they're not even noticed until there's maintenance that needs to be done, or there's an electrical issue, or something sets somebody off to think, hey, why isn't this running the right way, or whatever.
In this case, the theft wasn't discovered for over a year. Bridge inspectors spotted an unrelated water leak and notified Sound Transit.
Maintenance workers went inside and started to notice that there were sections of copper wire missing from that area.
King County Sheriff's Detective J.D. Williams spent days searching for evidence along the entire length of the elevated light rail.
There's another glove or two.
The evidence collection ranged from anything from left behind clothing, gloves, Gatorade bottles, discarded cigarettes, that type of stuff.
That evidence linked Turpin to the tunnel through his DNA. There were also records of sales by Turpin to metal recyclers, although the wire couldn't be identified as belonging to Sound Transit. None of the recyclers had raised concerns over the large amounts he sold.
As we've seen in this case, when you have Donald Turpin coming every single day, sometimes twice a day, with thousands of pounds of number one, which is kind of the bright and shiny, the best copper wire you can have, and there's not any questions asked.
DNA and sales receipts alone weren't enough to convict Turpin, but detectives were able to convince his associates to cooperate, leading to a successful prosecution.
We had to have witnesses, we had to have people cooperate with us, and once we started getting some of the other people involved to cooperate, that's when we kind of were able to start to build our case.
This was a theft of significant magnitude and degree, which endangered the public, in which the defendant has been found guilty.
Mr. Turpin was definitely held accountable for his actions, probably to a greater extent than he expected, and our office is certainly pleased with the outcome.
I'm Charlie Hinckley for King County at your service.